After watching the tape of Justice Haynes, Rueben Bane Jr., and Johntay Cook, all three were big-time performers for the 2026 NFL Draft Class.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst with Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Watch the tape Wednesday. Michigan running back Justice Haynes, Miami defensive lineman and edge rusher Rueben Bane Jr., and then Syracuse new wide receiver Johntay Cook all had big-time performances in Week 4. What did the tape show me? I'll talk about that. But before that, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use freely across the app. 5'10", 210-pound running back for the Michigan Wolverines, a guy that has rushed over 100 yards in all 4 of his first games this season, and that is Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes is having himself a great season thus far. And when I turned on the tape, they won the game against Nebraska and everything, and again, 5'11", 210, 66 carries, 537 yards rushing, 8 yards per attempt, 6 rushing touchdowns, 0 fumbles. He was outstanding in this game. And one of the things I really appreciated when I watched just how he played. Once he got into open field, you saw the open field speed. There's a reason why he has 2 runs this year north of 70 yards, 2 75-yard runs this year for Justice Haynes. The first one was week 2 against, I believe it was Oklahoma on the road. And he had that big long run right after halftime. And then you get the big 75-yarder against Nebraska. And he has the open field speed. One of the other things I really love about him and what he offers is a dense, compact frame, thick, strong lower halves, strong legs, strong upper body. He runs through arm tackles. He runs with intent downhill. But he also has contact balance with that play strength. So you see him fight through tackles, get yards after contact, and stay upright for those yards after contact. He has a man-on-a-mission running style where he does protect the ball. He lowers the pad level. He lowers the shoulders, and he's willing to run through defenders if you get in his way. Okay, I like the patience that he runs with. This is a guy that's not going to – he's not usually going to outrun or overrun his blockers, especially on pin and pull concepts and GT counters and GH counters and things of that nature. You want to allow your blockers to set up to spring you into daylight and into the open field. He does a good job of that. I project him when I look at him. I think he's a guy that would best fit one of those NFL teams that value the run game. And what I mean by that is high volume, like really good volume. He's a guy that I could see toting the rock 20 to 25 times in a game, and he could ice the game with him because of that physical, that strength, that demeanor, and that he runs with and he plays with downhill. Those things are there, right, for him. But also, from an elusivity standpoint, I appreciate the footwork and the lateral agility that Haynes gives us, because there's plays where if he's attacking the line of scrimmage or a defender, if you're flat-footed, he has enough lateral agility to just kind of work around you, whether it's a jump cut, a sidestep, whatever it may be. He works around those flat-footed defenders and be able to get upfield without breaking much of his stride or his speed. So, and also, I like the acceleration, the explosiveness. When he plants his foot and gets north and south, he gets north and south in a hurry, very quickly. These are things that you love to see from him. I want to see. They tried to get them the ball in the passing game. It wasn't fruitful. It didn't have didn't have the best results. Didn't breed the best results. But I want to see more, because that's where you really unlock your potential as a 3-down running back in the NFL. Is can you help in the passing game. We're watching that struggle a little bit right now in Washington with the Commanders, right? You got Bill Krosky Merritt out of Arizona. He's their best pure runner. But when you don't catch the football, you got guys like Austin Eckler and Jeremy McNichols and stuff but like Krosky Merritt is their best natural runner of the football. But can you give me some value on third downs as a pass catcher? And I think that's going to be the thing for Justice Haynes. It's not that he can't catch the ball. He caught the ball pretty solidly, I'd say. But I do need to see you be more of a playmaker with the football in your hands, right? Do you have that? Can you be elusive against a defensive back and not a linebacker? You catch that flat route. Can you set that guy up, give him a little shoulder shimmy, a little 1-2 with the pitter patters, and jump cut the guy and make him miss and make him look silly? Can you cross that guy over, or are you going to be more of a bull in the china shop, or I'm got my helmet strapped on, I'm running through the brick wall type? Like what kind of after catch runner can you be? Are you just going to be functional, a screen guy, a last minute resort guy? Can you be a weapon in the passing game, right? I want to see those things kind of flush itself out when it pertains to Justice Haynes. But this young man, again, I'll give you the numbers from the game. When he played in Nebraska, 17 carries, 149 yards rushing, 8.8 yards per attempt, a rushing touchdown. 125 of his yards came after contact, and he averaged per attempt 7.35 yards after contact per rush attempt. So, and he had 4 runs north of 10 plus yards. I'm sorry. So on yards that eclipsed 10, on plays where he eclipsed 10 yards rushing, he had 4 of those. Okay, and he had the 75-yard run. He breaks runs. He can make guys miss a little bit, but he's going to be more of a tackle breaker. That's a stat that I want you guys to really dive into. Like, don't just use that blindly. Watch the film, guys. Watch the tape. Because with running backs, that was the thing with Ashton Jeanty last year. People are like, oh, yeah, he makes guys miss. No, he runs through tackles. He's a tackle breaker. He breaks tackles. He might give you a little elusiveness here or there every once in a while, but 9 times out of 10, he's more breaking the tackle than escaping the tackle. And you want to see guys have a little bit of both, right? And I think that with Justice Haynes, he's going to be more of a tackle breaker and breaking the tackles rather than evading or escaping the tackles consistently. But even on the 75-yard touchdown run, I did like the vision, the patience, and the footwork. And if you're every day, you've listened to me talk about running backs and how I've scout running, you know my slogan. Let me cue up the slogan. It's slow to, fast through. Slow to the line of scrimmage as things are opening up and the blocks are taking shape and form, and then fast through once those blocks open you a lane and you hit it. And you saw that where he did go untouched, but he was able to manipulate defenders, slow sidestep, little subtle movement as when he get into that rush lane, subtle movement to his left. If I remember correctly, I think he moved to his left, and then he just hit the afterburners, and he took it 75 yards. So at the end of the day, the way I look at Justice Haynes, this is a guy who could be a volume back in the NFL. It's going to be a hard-nosed runner downhill that has the open field speed that you want. Now it's all about, okay, how agile and elusive are you in open space, in the open field, and can we do more things with you as a pass catcher? Because one thing that he is good at is protecting the passer. I like the pass pro reps he put on tape against Nebraska, finding the free runners, stonewalling them, attacking them, not waiting to absorb contact, meeting them with contact. Love to see those things. So Justice Haynes, the tape says you get an A of approval. He balled out in week 4. But coming up next, a blue chip player for me, Rueben Bane Jr. What did the tape say when Miami and Rueben Bane took on Florida? We'll talk about that coming up next. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply just move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride. With more IIHS top safety pick awards than anyone else as of August 2025. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details. And Mazda brings that same intention to how we craft every single model. You can feel and you can make every drive just feel like anything. But from smooth handling to intuitive controls, with all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence through almost any season, and or weather. So like our players, we sweat every detail. Again, like all our players, we sweat every single detail. Because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. Elite, elite, elite performance from Miami. Best defensive player, best player on the team, Rueben Bane Jr., 6'3", 275 pounds. And boy, what a day he had against that Florida offensive line. He put so much pressure, consistent pressure against or on the young sophomore quarterback, DJ Lagway. Rueben Bane came away in this game he was a man on a mission, it felt like, guys. I can't lie to you. 9 pressures. He had a sack in this game. He was constantly in the backfield and just like really making his presence felt. But here's the numbers that I want to give to you. Again, 1 sack, 9 pressures, a standard pass rush win rate of 44.8%. But this is where it gets crazy. On true drop back sets, 6 of his 9 hurries, that 1 lone sack, and his pass rush win rate jumped from 44.8 to 64.3. You talk about just immense elite production as a pass rusher and your presence and being able to turn your rush attempts into pressures at that rate, affecting the quarterback at that rate. Rueben Bane Jr., listen, Caleb Downs, Peter Woods, you go back to the archives. Me and Keith dropped our top 10 list, top 10 prospects ahead of the season for the 2026 NFL draft. And Peter Woods was my number 1, as is Keith's. And then I had Caleb Downs at 2. I think he had Caleb Downs as 2 as well. I had Rueben Bane at 3. I'm going to tell you right now, number 1, Peter Woods is still playing good ball. Clemson's just not playing good ball. They're not being coached well. That's a whole nother story. But Peter Woods is still putting out really good film. Caleb Downs is going to have a nice transition to the NFL from learning from under Matt Patricia in this NFL-style defense, and he's going to continue to grow and be a playmaker. So he's played outstanding when he's been on the field. Rueben Bane Jr. is the best defensive player in the 2026 NFL draft right now, today. There's nobody making more of an impact than Rueben Bane Jr. No one. His ability to get after the quarterback at 6'3", 275, I'm telling you guys, getting around tackles. He has answers and ways to threaten blockers that the rest of the pass rushers really don't have in this class, because you can wide nine him. Watch him with the get off, that first step, the pad level, and then you think he's trying to get around the edge and you get that long arm, right? He hits you like a bouncer at a club when you knew you were doing wrong. He hits you with that long arm and says, it's time for you to go home. You've had a little bit too much to drink tonight, big fella. And he tosses you, right? He's got the swim move. If you're too aggressive, he has a push-pull technique, right? But what I really love is the hands when he's not, because for him as Rueben Bane is going to be a guy that a defensive line coach will have to say, whoa, big fella, calm down. You're a little too aggressive. Sometimes he has a bull in a China shop mentality, and he'll run full speed into a blocker, and then he gets too close before he's trying to start or initiate that move he wants to execute, right? So you want to tell him, hey, once you get to the top of that second step and you're closing that space, watch their hand carriage. As it works up, that's when you club rip and then you clean, right? And you clean past them and you work past them, right? And you clear them. Those type of things you want to see him consistently work on. But man, he has so many different ways to get to the quarterback. But then also the positional versatility that he brings, because not only can he play wide nine edge, he could play 4-eye and 3-tech on the defensive line as well. There was a play where he looped around on a stunt from the interior defensive line spot and got right into the face of the quarterback and disrupted him. And you think about trying to deal with some of these shorter quarterbacks, man. Brock Purdy, Bryce Young, Kyler Murray. One thing these guys don't want is pressure in their face. So if you're telling me Hey, Rueben Bane's looping around, and then what made the rep even better, he loops into a center, into an interior offensive lineman who gets aggressive, lunges at him. He swim moves with the long arm over and clears him, and now he's in the face of the quarterback. The way he is impacting the game, and I've only gone over the pass rush stuff. As a run defender, he's nearly elite. Physicality at the point of attack, strength, IQ. Now, what I'm going to say next might sound contradictory, but it's not. His IQ of understanding how to shut down outside runs, wide zone. Yes, I could strike you, do the whole song and dance, but sometimes you will see him kind of swim past a guy and then flash his colors because he's unblocked and he's on the perimeter. And now he's going to force that running back to bounce that and try to get around him wide. And now your linebackers are flowing. Or you're going to try to bang it up into the teeth of the defense in between the tackles, where it might not be a fruitful result for you. So he does those things. Now, he does tend to, how to put this, freelance a little bit, where you'll see him jump into a gap, guess where the run's going, things like that. At the end of the day, guys, what a lot of these college athletes do, sometimes they get into a mode where they do what they feel in those moments, right? It's the most impulsive. And then you get to an NFL, because I'll be honest, the coaching in terms of being disciplined, depending on where you are. Like if that was Nick Saban, it's Mario Cristobal. Shout out to Mario Cristobal. These boys are balling, they're undefeated. If Nick Saban's watching film with you on Monday and you did that junk, Nick Saban's cussing you out, right? What the bleepity bleep were you doing? Like, no, that's not your run assignment. Get out here, stay out here, set the hard edge, things like that. Like, that's Nick Saban. You know what I mean? Shout out to the old ball coach. But yes, Nick Saban's a different coach, right? Kirby Smart, different coach than the Mario Cristobal. And then get to the NFL, yeah, that defensive line coach, y'all watching film from your practice reps and you're jumping inside, not sticking to the actual scheme and what we're running and your design run fit, yes, you're going to get blasted in front of everybody. So he's got to be a little bit more disciplined and not freelance. But in college, these guys have more freedom to freelance in college, to be completely honest with you. So yes, that's why scouting is so difficult. Because it's like, what are you asked to do? What are you coached to do? What's being coached into you? We don't know half the time, right? Unless you do your research, you reach out to people, and people are willing to give you the truthful information. But other than that, man, Rueben Bane Jr. is the best defensive player in college football for the 2026 NFL draft right now, today. Heading into week 5, he is my number 1 defensive player because he gives you everything: positional versatility, power, speed, strength, a relentless motor. His interception against Notre Dame, guys, come on, motor, nose for the football type stuff. The things you can't teach that, right? He's out here, and not even just in that game, but you see him at the line of scrimmage. The ball's thrown to the sideline, multiple hands hit it, DB's deflected, receiver deflects it, and out of nowhere, big number 4, 275, goes up high points, brings it down, and hits the sideline. But if you don't have a nose for the football and you don't have the motor to keep playing and keep going until the whistle is blown, you're not going to follow the ball. He follows the ball, guys. Rueben Bane Jr. is he's my top 3 guy for me coming in. And if he stays on this path, this trajectory, listen, he's going to be in contention for to talk about a number 1 overall pick. Because he's that, some of the names that came to mind. We talked about Cam Jordan on this pod for him. I think about a stronger DeMarcus Ware type guy, but also Trayvon Walker, right? Remember Trayvon went number one overall over Aiden Hutchinson, and for the first year or so, people was like, "Oh man, Aiden Hutchinson's so much better." For those who watch film, you would know these guys are much closer than people will tell you. Aiden Hutchinson's a beast. Love Aiden. The hometown kid stays the hometown kid in Michigan. Played at Michigan. He stays in Michigan. The Detroit Lions. Number 2 overall pick. Shout out. But Trayvon Walker is a complete package. His run game, his run defense, his pass rush ability to affect the game from defensive end to even defensive tackle. Rueben Bane does similar things. That's all I'm saying. Rueben Bane does very similar things, guys. So for me, I'm just telling you right now, when I watched the tape of Rueben Bane versus Florida, no one had a higher graded weekend than Rueben Bane Jr. But let's close this thing out with a wide receiver for Syracuse with the orange. He went from burnt orange at Texas to kind of a little bit of a lighter orange, a brighter orange, a happier orange with the Syracuse orange. And that's Johntay Cook. He lit up that Clemson secondary. We're going to talk about what the tape showed me coming up next. The NFL season is here and in full swing. And honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium, surrounded by fans cheering on your favorite team. But let's be honest, getting those tickets can be a little bit of a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout, it can be frustrating. It is frustrating. But that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included. So the price you see is the price you pay. Another reason why I love the app is the app is made super simple. I can even see the exact view from my seat before I buy the seat, and you can't miss that. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's the promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout for being our everydayers. Johntay Cook, wide receiver for the Syracuse Orange, listed at 6 foot, 198 pounds. I believe he's a true junior. And he's having his true year of being the starter, can break out. He's already surpassed the amount of yards he caught in his freshman year in 2023 and his sophomore year with Texas last year. And he's coming off his best game of the season. 11 targets, 7 receptions, 120 yards receiving, no touchdowns, right? He's only got 1 touchdown this season. But nonetheless, this is a guy that I tweeted out the clip. He's facing one of the Clemson's corners in the nickel and in the slot, and he runs a pivot route, a whip route. And you just love the route salesmanship, the selling of the out route, shoulders turned, eyes look back for the quarterback. He looked like he even lifted his hands, like he was getting prepared to catch a ball or to tell him, throw it to me. And then suddenly you see the sudden drop of weight, change of direction, and he's working back down the stem the opposite direction and working back to the middle of the field. Catches the ball, makes some plays, and gets the yards after the catch. Johntay Cook also had a rep against one of my favorite corners in Keith's. I think Avion Terrell's Keith's CB1 right now. I don't have him that high, but like he's one of my favorite corners in this class from a coverage standpoint. Avion Terrell, the brother of AJ Terrell for the Atlanta Falcons with Clemson, and they were he had like 2 really good reps against him in man-to-man coverage. And the first one, you play like Avion Terrell's playing like soft press, soft shoe, and everything. And Johntay knows it. He sees it. He identifies it. He attacks it. And what he did is he's working upfield, gaining ground, getting into his airspace, pushing him off. While he's working upfield, he's using the foot fire technique. And you don't know if he's breaking in, breaking out, or he's just going to try to swim, move you, and get up vertical up the seam. And you see Avion Terrell taking those precautious steps back. But what he's doing is just opening up space underneath on the slant. And that's just nuanced, intelligent wide receiver play from Johntay Cook, right? That short area quickness, that route running ability, that sudden drop of weight and change of direction. He has those things in his bag, and he's going to be able to do that at a consistent basis. And when I tweeted out that clip of him running the whip route, he reminds me of Josh Downs. His movement skills, the movement patterns, the route running, the agility, the change of direction, all of that reminds me so much of Josh Downs. And he's listed at 6 foot even, 198 pounds. He's probably going to be more, I think he's probably closer to 5'10", 5'11". Still, I think he would probably be a bigger body than Josh Downs. And even under that tweet, shout out, I forget who tweeted, who commented, but he said he compared him to Jaden Reed because of his run after catch. I'll say this. He's probably a mixture of both Jaden Reed and Josh Downs because the movement skills and route running is Josh Downs, but he's a better run after catch threat than Josh Downs, similar to that of a Jaden Reed. But nonetheless, guys, when I look at Johntay Cook, again, he has a senior year next year. And Jelly, I think, their quarterback towards, I think it's Achilles, and everything. So he's out for the season, and everything. So you expect he's going to come back. They're going to get him back in there for that senior year. Why not re-recruit Johntay Cook and get him to come back and bypass the NFL? It's a possibility. And if he goes back, gets even better, gets more targets, who knows? But he can go out here the rest of this year, start really eating the targets from the backup quarterback, because the slot receiver is the easiest guy to get the ball to, really. If you got a really good tight end, that helps. But at the end, but nonetheless, like at the end of the day, like Johntay Cook is a good football player. He's a really good football player, and his ability to put defensive backs in conflict, as a route runner versus man, as a route runner versus zone. He's a grass finder, all those type of things, man. And that's what you want to see from a young wide receiver that has more room to grow and grow into his role and into his body and into his game and his frame. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do next. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do next, guys, because he is such a talented player. And hopefully they're able to continue to give him the targets in the football. Again, in this game, Johntay Cook was targeted 11 times. Okay. And you think about the NFL game, get him into, like, he'll be perfect for like Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Those option routes where you're reading the leverage, breaking it off, depending on where that defender go, he can run those type of routes too. High football IQ player that knows how to get open. And those guys, they have a role in the league, right? Bryce Young would love them. Bo Nix would love them. Man, those quarterbacks that wanted like Daniel Jones would love him, even though I don't think Daniel Jones will have a long career in Indianapolis, even though they're hot start, but I don't foresee it lasting long. But because teams adjust. But yes, like quarterbacks on the dink and dunk, and they are better in the short game than the intermediate and long game. Yeah, they will love a Johntay Cook because he's going to make their lives a lot easier. But guys, that's the Watch the Tape episode, Watch the Tape Wednesday episode of this week. We talked Johntay Cook, the route running savant from Syracuse, Rueben Bane Jr., the best defensive player in the 2026 NFL draft today, and Justice Haynes, potential RB1 and volume ball carrier over with Michigan for some lucky NFL team for the 2026 NFL draft. As always, guys, we appreciate you. Go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. Thank you so much for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. On tomorrow's show, we're kicking it off with perfect prospect pairing. We're going to take a prospect, find the perfect NFL team, scheme, and fit for them that they can make the biggest impact. We got NFL draft storylines as well, and coach them up. All that on tomorrow's show. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.